Hello.
Are you ready for this today?
I don't know.
We told you guys a couple weeks ago we were going to Key West to celebrate Chip's 50th birthday.
50th. I'm still not quite there yet,
But
but
I was going to say the actual birthday is not till November 12th, right?
correct. Yes.
So we were a little ahead of time, and we're a little ahead of time on this topic as well. But Wednesday's guest was John Slavitt, who it was actually a replay of something, a conversation I had had last year that I just loved. I really think it's important to hear men's perspective of aging and midlife and life after divorce, because often on this podcast, obviously, I'm talking to women and I'm coming from a female perspective. So it's interesting to me to hear the male perspective. And he gave
Hmm.
that. He was a very successful guy, had a great marriage or had a marriage, storybook kind of looking life, fairy tale life. And then it all fell apart. So he had kids, the marriage fell apart. And then he started a whole network about starting over at 50 and just like what that looks like. And it made me think about you and some of the things that you have brought up in relation to turning 50. And I will say, this is the most, maybe, is the word hesitant or back and forth kind of wavering that I've seen you do about a birthday and an age. Like I've never seen you struggle with it at all. And I think this one seems to be hitting you a little differently.
I
Is it?
mean, it's funny because I feel like I've never really worried about the number because I feel I've always felt like super youthful and like having my finger on the pulse. But I mean, and I guess my frame of reference generally is music. It's
Mhm.
like the most central thing in my life. And, as I'm inching towards 50, it's like I am really starting, like, it's not even the number that's scary. It's like I'm starting to feel old in ways that I never really thought I would. Not even physically.
Oh,
It's more like emotionally and the like I look at the charts and I'm like, who are all these people? Like, and I feel like I'm paying attention. I'm just like old. Even before we were started recording, you and I were talking about some of your new clients or your newer clients. And it's like I just don't have my finger on the pulse like I used to.
sure.
And that is a bit of a bummer, but it's also something that like there's a bit of relief in it too. Like I don't need to, like it's like I yeah have the stories I have. I mean, look, I'm nowhere near like this sounds like I'm dying, but I've like great memories and stories and stuff that like it's I'm actually okay with like sort of turning the corner a little bit and like
Okay.
taking my foot off the gas
Yeah.
and not feeling like I have to keep up. Like that
You
is truly a young person's game.
yeah.
And look, I still like I'm gonna be active and like do things
Right.
but I also don't feel like I need to be the first one, to know about everything.
Okay.
Because
That's
I mean, the truth is I think as you get older, you realize like that time is precious and all of those things. And it's like, I don't, I really only want to spend my time on the things that I really, really like.
mhm.
And I mean, that might be something like a new music discovery, but I don't have to, I don't feel like I have to sift through all the bullshit to find the things that I like. I feel like now I'm at an age where the things that I like will find me
Mm.
eventually, or maybe they won't, and I'll just never know about them. But I don't feel like I have to like be as active in the search, if that
I
makes sense.
always think it's so funny when you say you don't have to be as active in anything, though, because even when you made your word no, KNOW versus
Yes.
no, like saying no, I did not witness you saying no a whole
Oh my God.
lot.
I was literally thinking about that this morning.
Were
Well,
you?
okay, yesterday I woke up.
That was your
Uh,
word this year, right?
that was this year's.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. I guess that's gonna have to carry over to 50. Um, I woke up yesterday morning, like before my alarm, and literally had one of those what day is it moments. Like when
Hmm.
you wake up, and I guess I'd gotten a decent night of sleep because it was like I was in such like a trance
Okay.
and I had no idea what day of the week it was. I was like, is it the week? Is it the weekend? And then I realized it was Wednesday, which is, I mean, I guess not the word. It could have been Monday.
Right.
So it was the downhill slide, but in that moment, I was like, I have to start. It is almost November, and haven't really said no to a lot this year. I'm like this month. I'm traveling every weekend. It's crazy to me.
So you've got 2 months of no left of
Oh
2025. You
gosh,
may just need to
yeah,
carry this one
I
over.
know. I think I'm gonna have to carry it over because I have to travel in. I know some travel I have to do in November for some friend's birthday. Um, also turning 50. So I have not done a very good job. But I do feel like the KNOW part, I have been, trying to like learn more about myself and what it is that I want to do. And maybe that is just sort of the reflective side of turning 50, like thinking about some of those things. And I feel like, I've learned a lot about just how strong I can be. And I've tested myself in ways this year that I haven't in the past. And I'm still here.
You're still
I'm
surviving.
still here.
I always think about aging in relation to kind of like we have these expectations when we're kids of what it's going to feel like to turn a certain age, right? Like
Hmm.
I will never forget when my parents turned 40 and I remember thinking like, "Woof, they're old."
Everything was black at my mom's 40th birthday
Oh, I
party. It was
know,
like
my dad
dead over the
too.
hill.
I remember my dad getting upset because his sister had done a bunch of stuff like that, like kind of the over the hill jokes. And I think he wasn't prepared for that and didn't want it to be doomsday either. And so he was like, "What?" But I remember thinking, yeah, like 40, man, you are like on death's door, is what it felt like as a kid. Then you get to 40 and you're like, I don't have anything figured out. It's not at all what I
Nothing.
thought it would be. So I wonder, is that something that you're feeling right now? Do you feel like the decades are kind of the markers of that more, where we start doing the comparison to what we thought it would be versus what it really is? And what are the things coming up for you with that?
Well, I mean, obviously 50 is probably a pretty good benchmark for like you're in the latter half of your life. Very few people live to be over 100. So I'm incredibly aware of that.
Okay.
Um, I'm a really lucky person. Like I had a dream and I achieved it. And I'm still somewhat living in that dream. So in terms of like career building, I don't feel behind. Look, would I like to have more money in the bank? Yes. Would I like to have achieved some greater things in my career? Yes. So I think that there are still like real goals that
Goals.
I can set for myself and work towards. But if it all came crashing down tomorrow and I couldn't work anymore, would I be happy with what I've done? Absolutely.
Mhm.
I think that's one of the things is like when you hit this age, it's asking yourself like, well, who am I now? Like, what do I still have time to do? What are the things that like I don't want to regret? Like time truly is our most precious resource. And it makes you realize those things. Like I'm still very lucky to have my parents alive. They're both in
Mhm.
their 80s. And I mean, it's crazy to think that like I feel so much closer in age to them now than I have ever felt. And we've always been the same exact amount of time
Yeah, that's
apart.
interesting.
Um, but like, like, I know them from 50 to 80. I know all the life that they've lived for those 30 years. And although it seems like 80's around the corner for me at this point, like, I know that there's still a lot of time. And if I can, like, try to be better about respecting my body and sleeping better and doing all the things like I can have that longevity. And I do
Mhm.
think like I'm really fortunate, what I do is exhausting and I travel a lot and I give up a lot of my personal life, but I also feel like it that is keeping me like younger and vibrant, more vibrant. So, um, I think that is a bonus to the exhaustion. It's not like I'm just like traveling around like reading lawyer docs and fighting in court and doing stuff that's a lot more stressful or like giving surgery to people, like that's really, really
Actually
hard
saving
work.
lives.
Yeah. So, I think I I feel like I'm rambling and I've kind of forgot your question, but I think the main thing now is like really trying to figure out like what do I want the rest of my life to look like? Like now is like, when you're turning 40, that just is like, that's more of like a joke. You're right. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I like felt like I was on a path, but wasn't certain. And it was right around. So I moved to Nashville 10 years ago this month.
Oh, wow.
So I was in a season of major change, but it was like change that um, the main reason I wanted to move to Nashville outside of like loving the city and having friends here was, I knew I needed to start really thinking about my future. I wanted to own something, and I couldn't do that in Los Angeles. I knew I would probably, without like a huge stroke of luck, would always be renting in Los Angeles, probably never own anything. So moving to Nashville gave me the opportunity to like buy something and sort of invest in myself for the first time financially in
Mm-hmm.
that way. So, 10 years ago, it was like this huge season of change where now I feel like, I've been in this house for 10 years. It's got a lot of equity in it. It like I set myself up for my future in a way, just, with a piece of property. And so there I'm like resting on a little bit of relief.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's more like, who am I moving forward and what do I still want to achieve? And what are those things that I want to check off my list? Which is scary and exciting because I can obviously only fit so much in the next however many years I'm going to live.
And Lord knows you'll try to fit it all in.
And it's like I've lived my life coming up with lots of like great ideas, and one of my like regrets in life is like sometimes I'll have a great idea for 10, 20 years and never do a single thing about it. And like now's the time for me to like look at those ideas and be like, okay, which of these are actually realistic that I would
Hmm.
want to like try and make a reality?
I was
So
going to
that's
ask you,
exciting to me.
that is exciting.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's any aspects of your personality or lifestyle or um, job, anything that you feel like, okay, you know what? I'm 50 now. This is a part that I want to leave behind. I've done that, been there. Like, it's time to move forward, or even just like ways that you went about doing things. Like, are you kind of over some of your own patterns? Is that
I
hitting you in any
mean,
new way?
I'm still like a chronic procrastinator, and I that is one of the things like the more that I learn about it, it's funny because I get served ads on Instagram about procrastination, and it's like there's roots to why
For
people
sure.
procrastinate that I probably really need to address. But the more that I just sort of like learn about the procrastination that I've literally done my whole life and the weight that it adds to
Hmm.
just your being, that is something that I really want to work on. Like when I work with friends or see friends who are incredibly decisive and just like, yes, no, move on. Yes, no, get it done, move on. Where I like labor over decisions and try to look at everything from a million sides. And I know that they're doing that. Their process is just more rapid.
Sure.
Because I don't think that my friends that are doing that are just like,
Flagrantly
yes,
doing
no,
it.
like just like making
Yeah. No,
flippant
no, no, no.
decisions. I don't want it to
Yes.
sound like that, but I'll like labor over it. I'm going to give a great example. Like,
Okay.
and this has really nothing to do with work because it could, I mean, I guess it does, but our friend Tyler is a travel agent. And when we were in Key West, he helped sort of arrange everything. And when we were in Key West, I admitted that I had booked one of the rooms that I'd booked through the block that he'd set up, and another one I had booked through a third party because I wanted to get my
Oh
points.
boy. Oh
And he was
boy.
like, he looked at me and he was there when I was checking in, and I was like worried that any sort of upgrade that had been asked for on behalf of the birthday boy was going to go to the room that I'd given to my sister because that was the one that I booked through the block. And this suddenly was like, oh my God, what if she gets the upgrade? And he looked at me and he was like, he's like, you are so anti-travel agent. I was like, no, I'm not. And he was like, yes, you are. And I was like, look, I just like my points. I got to get my companion pass. And he was like, ugh, you're so pedestrian. And I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, plus, I don't want to like have to call you at 12:30 at night if there's something wrong. And he was like, that's what I'm here for. And I just like the control of like being able to make the changes and know all the things. But I also know that if I called Tyler to be like, "Hey, I'm going here. I need you to help me," he would send me options, and you know what I would do? I would go to Kayak and I would look at I would search options myself. So I would just like waste time because it's not necessarily a procrastination thing. It's more of like a control. I need to know every single option before I make a decision versus just being like, that flight looks good, move on.
Oh, okay.
And so I think I need to, I think it is about like, it's not just stop procrastinating. I still need to figure out how to work smarter, not harder, so that I can also like have more free time, you know?
Hmm.
And so I
Start
think,
some of those what if ideas.
right,
There's no
to,
way that you'll be able to expand business wise or into any of those ideas unless you allow help to come in.
right, yes.
We physically can't. Like I'm in the
Yeah,
same stage right now, just it's gotten busier than it has been. I need to get some help, but I've got to get through a couple of things before I can sit down and do it. But I know from past experience that if I don't ask for help,
right.
I'm just going to keep drowning, but it's not going to help me grow. It
Hmm.
doesn't give you the space to grow. You just stay at the level you are because one person can only do so
There's
much.
only so much bandwidth.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, I think my to answer the question, it would be to really start to figure out how to let go of the little things that cause me to procrastinate or not be able to make a decision.
So when you're turning 50, you've kind of
Hmm.
touched on this a little bit, but I think that with your job, you said, I have lived my dream. But of course, I
Hmm.
would like a little more money, a little more whatever, all the stuff that we all want. Is there some sort of definition of success that has changed or evolved for you since your 30s and 40s at 50? Or is it around the same goal wise because you've always just kind of known you wanted to be a part of this music industry?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's any particular like benchmarks. Look, the fact that I have sustained in this business for, I mean, it's literally I've only ever worked in music, and I know so many people who were, equal, further along in their career than me when I was younger. But the industry has like shifted and laid off so many people, and jobs have like complete jobs have gone away that like
Sure.
that existed um, when I was younger, and like technology has replaced a lot of people. So the fact that I'm even still in it is success to me. I still get to wake up and do what I love every day. And having shifted from like working in the more like I was at record labels and then I was in a marketing team, and so I was more service oriented. And now being on the management side, it's like I have a really clear affinity for like working with the artists that I want to work with. So that feels like a step, like in the right direction, because it is in some ways building your own business. I
Hmm.
mean, I still work on teams that like I'm not the manager, I'm working under a manager. So there's that too, but I do have my own clients, that is me sort of, in a way investing in myself, taking a chance on myself. And so that having that confidence is truly like the biggest gauge of success for me, because I was always scared that I could not be a manager because there was so much that I didn't know. And now I learned that like most managers, there's so much shit that they don't know, because you just
You
don't know
figure
what's
it
going to
out as
come
you
out. Yeah,
go. Yeah. And each
you have
client
to
is
attack the
different. And
right. Yeah, there's so much personality that's involved, and I mean, shit, you just don't know what's going to get thrown at you any day. Like you could have a client that gets a movie offer out of nowhere, and if you've never worked in the movie business, suddenly you have to figure out how to navigate that.
sure,
And quite honestly, that's fun. That's the fun part, is that it changes every day. So,
different every day. Yeah.
um, but yeah, I mean, look, would money be a great marker of success? Absolutely. I think it is in any business. But I also think the fact that I'm still happy doing what I do is the greatest mark of success.
Well, you can't take it with you.
No,
So you
you
might as
really
well just
can't.
enjoy what it is you do have while you're
Right.
here.
And I've never begun at holding on to it. So it's like I might as well
You're
spend
gonna
it while
spend it
I'm here.
anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned investing in yourself or taking a chance on yourself with moving into management and things like that. What do you feel as far as, self-love? That's like I always hear women who turn 50. Let me say it this way. When I turned 40, I felt like, you know what? The amount of fucks that I give is dropping by the day. Like, it's
Right.
just like you kind of get to this place where you're like, I have to just start accepting myself as I am because this is all I've got. Like, wherever I go, I am here, like I'm
Right.
with me. So I might as well figure out a way to embrace myself and love myself. But then I always hear women say when they turn 50, it's even more than that. Like, you're just like, in this full blown place of here I am world, take it or leave it. Like this is
Right.
what it is. Do you feel that as is it the same for men or is it
I think so. I mean, look, there are instances where you like, and I'll end up in a room where I'm like the oldest, feel like the oldest person there, and that's a little weird because I still am like going out and trying to be somewhat youthful, but I joke about it. Like it doesn't make me feel bad, but I'll just be like, well, I'm gonna leave early because I'm definitely the oldest person here. But I can have a sense of humor about it. But I do feel like I life is so much less performative now. Like I know who I am. I know I have an amazing network of family and friends that love me and which was proven time and time again last
100%?
weekend.
Yes.
And so it's like, and it's also too like I think back to some of my other birthday parties that had hundreds of, I mean, it wasn't like destination stuff. Like this was more like a wedding, um, in the way that it was set up. But it's like I used to have, and you're probably going to laugh at this because you still probably felt like there were ancillary people there. But I used to like literally everyone I worked with was there. Like I would have 300 people at my birthday party, and like now it's like even it feel like this one was narrowed down even
That
as
was
big as it
dialed
was.
back for
That
you?
was
That's
dialed back. And
insane.
but like it was people from my childhood to people in New York and college and Los Angeles and New York and oh sorry, I said New York and Nashville. It was like the most important people from like lots of walks of my life and it's really awesome to like look back and see the relationships that have really sustained and mattered and some of those people like I'll speak to a couple times a year so to get to see them and know that like I hold a place in their heart that they would spend that money and get on a plane and come
Hmm.
spend that time in Key West. It just made me feel really special. But to get back into your question, I, I know what is important to me now. I know what my values are. I feel like I can stand behind them without like feeling worried about fitting in. I also feel like my value system is so clear to me that I can have conversations about it without feeling preachy
Yeah.
if I need to, or feeling like I'm wrong. Like I feel so good about like where I stand on things that even if I don't agree with someone, I don't walk away from those conversations feeling like I'm wrong.
Hmm.
Are there things that I can learn? Of course, but I like in my core, I believe that my value system like lays in the right place. And that's a nice, refreshing way to feel because um it's when you're questioning your values because you don't feel like you fit in somewhere. It's a really slippery slope. And you're not living authentically. And to recognize that like I am resolute in my values means that I'm living pretty authentically.
Hmm.
So yeah.
I was gonna touch a little bit on Key West because it was such a fun experience. I did not know what to think going into it. As you mentioned, there was a lot of people going. It felt a little more like for the listeners, it felt a little more like a wedding
Hmm.
situation in that we were all going to this one destination. There was a hotel block, like all the things that a destination wedding would involve. There was an itinerary, things like that.
Hmm.
But I did say to someone, when reflecting back on it, I don't know another human in my life that could bring so many people from different stages of life and us all kind of mesh and get along. And the common denominator is just how much we love you.
Right.
That was like
Right.
such a cool experience because I truly felt like even people from your childhood, maybe that you haven't seen as often, like you were saying, and then your LA friends, your New York friends, we all like had this common bond of like, well, we just love chips. So here we are, we're ready to go, and like, and then we all
Let's have
really got
fun.
along. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't know another person either who could manage that many different groups and walks of life and no one feel neglected. Like I felt like I saw you a ton, but I know
Yeah.
everyone else did too. So I don't know. It was just a
Well, that's why
really
I'm still tired a week and a
and it
half
is why
later.
you're still tired for sure. It's
I
probably all
did
the
stay up
singing you
really late.
did. I do have to tell the listeners, there, Chip. Okay.
Oh gosh.
I've mentioned before how Chip loves karaoke.
Hmm.
What I didn't know about you is that the people from other walks of life of yours also love karaoke equally
Yeah.
as much and are as good at it. Like
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
never been with so many professional karaoke people in
How
my
about
life.
Nicole Vecchiarelli?
Oh
Oh
my
my, she
God.
did a
Our
s- she did
Nicole, some of
Cardi
the
B half in
guys,
Spanish.
yes, the Cardi B, I like it like that, or I like
Yeah.
that, and did the Spanish parts too. I
Yeah.
was like, who are you
It's
people?
amazing. She was amazing.
Everyone got up. The thing I learned about y'all and what I learned about karaoke from y'all is if you get up on a karaoke stage, you better fucking own it.
Yeah,
Like
you got
you
to
just
bring
gotta
it.
go. You can't half-ass it. You can't be awkward and shy. You gotta lean all the way in, even if you don't know all the lyrics, and just go.
Just go.
And when I say lean all the way in, let me give you guys a visual.
Oh gosh.
I thought the night was winding down, but I guess this was maybe like the encore, the finale performance, and I see a chair get brought up to stage. He's
You think I'm gonna
dying.
do Britney Spears
I didn't know
Lucky?
what you were gonna. I thought you were maybe gonna do what's the one where they pull the water?
Flash
Yeah,
dance. Yeah.
the flash dance, whatever that song is. I
Eileen
gotta.
Cara.
Yeah,
What
I
a
was like maybe.
feeling.
What
That
a
one.
feeling. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But it wasn't. So Chip takes the chair, turns it backwards like he's AC Slater, and sits in it and stoically starts into father figure.
I was really worried when I did it too, because I feel like it came after some really big hype song, and
It
suddenly I'm
probably
doing a ballad.
did. Yes. And he gets up there and does the ballad. He stayed in the chair for half the song and then gets up and obviously works the stage and gives the people what they want. I mean, that wasn't the only time he was on stage. Don't you guys worry. It was
Uh,
multiple
there were
times.
many times.
I've just never seen so many stellar karaoke performances. I even felt like that bachelor party that came into the room with us, they were leaning in too. It was like
Oh yeah.
the energy around karaoke was like, get up and own it. I couldn't even get up there because I was so intimidated by all y'all.
Well, what was funny was so my friend Lauren was in town and she loves karaoke and she had prepared Gnarly by Cat's Eye and like learned the dance, everything. Well, she fainted at dinner before karaoke and didn't get to
Oh,
come to the
I
karaoke
was
portion of the party.
wondering. Okay. I was like, I don't
Yeah,
remember
you're
this.
like, I don't remember that. But the next night after dinner, a bunch of us went to the karaoke place so that she could do it. And the vibe was very different. Like the night of my birthday party, like if you had randomly walked into this karaoke place, you would have thought a real concert was
Yeah,
happening
best
because
night of your
the,
life.
the
Yes.
whole audience was like in it, screaming. It was crazy. And we walk in the next night and it's like there's like 12 people in the bar and the people that are singing are all doing like show tunes. And so it was like this like and
Uh,
there's like no energy coming at the stage and in walks Lauren Waterman and gets up there and does her dance and like kind of brought the place down because those of us who were with her had that same sort of energy.
sure.
But it was like I bring it up because I noticed like just how
The
different the two
shift.
nights were.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like, I mean, so she mentioned there was a bachelor party that basically we took up 2/3 of the whole bar.
Mhm.
And then this bachelor party came and filled up the other third. And so it was like them and us going
But they
back
were
and forth. And they
great.
were
So
great
it was
too.
so
But we
perfect.
invited them on our boat the next day. They
You
ended up not being,
did?
yeah, we invited all of them,
God.
but they couldn't come.
I didn't even know that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah. I was texting with a dude named Brian.
Oh my God. I love that you even exchanged numbers. The thing
Hmm.
is you were not acting 50 this weekend, because like I would be asleep by like 10 every night because I could not
I would be
hang.
up till 4 a.m.
I don't
every
know
night.
how you did it. And that one day you did lose your voice. It was the night after karaoke. And
Yeah.
I've never heard Chip have such a low voice. It was like, I kept being like, hey.
Hey. And I was trying so hard to speak, and it was just making it worse and worse.
Yeah, all that singing father figure really took it
Yeah.
out of you.
Just screaming,
I think
all
your
the
body is
screaming.
probably like, why are we up at 4 a.m.?
A
Hey, you're
hundred
not a spring
percent.
chicken. I just still
Yeah.
can't believe that you went with it. All in all, though, I mean, I've never laughed that hard at karaoke was another thing. Our friend Reagan was up on the speakers dancing. Like, I don't know who we thought we were. It was like,
I mean, we went in there and owned that bar. That is for sure. If anyone is going to Key West, you got to go see our boy Rico at Duval Stars Karaoke.
is that the one you talk about that used to be a strip club?
Yeah. Hmm.
Wow. what a
Yeah,
vibe.
it's a
Okay.
vibe.
Yeah, I was
Um,
really, really into it. Your friend Willa got up. Chip is friends with Willa Ford. If you guys remember, I Want to Be Bad back in the day.
back in the day.
She's making a comeback. So
Yeah.
the fact that she got up and did I Want to Be Bad for You, I was dying.
She's never done karaoke before in her life, and she certainly was like, "This is the only time I'm ever gonna do this song."
And it has to be because you're
So
turning
yeah,
50.
yeah, we got to get that up on the interweb so people can see it.
I was going to ask you, and this feels kind of like a good transition. Do you feel like there's anything people get wrong about aging? And I think this is an interesting transition because obviously in those experiences, we were acting like 20
Oh
somethings.
yeah, it was like my
So
21st birthday.
do you feel like there's an overall misconception, or did you have another understanding of aging and now you're here and you're like,
Well, I mean, I think, being I'm single and don't have kids, so my experience is different than a lot of probably most people's. Um, I've always thought that age is a number, and you have to like really like lean into that. Like there are certain things scientifically that I cannot stop from happening. My joints are gonna ache, my muscles are gonna get weaker as I get older, things like that. But I don't think that like we all have to stop having fun, you know? Like I look at my parents and in their retirement, like they still want to have fun
mm-hmm,
and um I don't think that um, growing up or maturing means don't have fun. And I think that, there is, particularly in America, in our puritanical society, there is sort of a stigma to like, you act your age. Like
mm-hmm,
people are expected to just act like kids. I'm not act like kids as they grow up, but I'm just like, wouldn't the world be a better place if we all just sort of held on to that, like our youthful qualities, the one, seeing the world with wonder instead of disdain or jealousy or the things that like creep into our lives. I mean, that was one of the things that like I was doing a little reading before we did this, and I was like trying to just do research about like the good things and the bad things of about turning 50. And one of the things that I read was like, and when it comes to relationships, which I've talked about a little bit before, like the ones that are really locked in are so much more clear now, and like who
mm,
your core is, but also your relationship to yourself gets to change as you are dropping the things that don't matter. And that really struck me because I'm like, I want to continue to focus on the kid in me and
mm,
like the kid that just saw wonder, like that believed he could do anything. That, I mean, it's like the where the what if guy came from, I think, And so I think that's the one thing that I'm just going to remind myself as I continue to age and I've, do finally turn the corner to 50 that don't lose the kid.
yeah, I love that. And I really like tying it back into Wednesday's podcast of him starting over at 50 is essentially what it was. I think we do map it out when we're younger and we're kind of
Hmm.
like, okay, by this age, I'm going to do this and by this and that. And then life happens and it never looks like what we think it will, probably.
No.
Or if you get all the things you thought you wanted and then you are done getting them, you're like, wait, is this it?
Yeah.
And I do think as you age, you almost can embrace the childlike wonder, like you're talking about, even more than maybe we could in our 30s and even your 40s a little bit. It's like getting back to the root of why you wanted to do all the things you wanted to do when you first started in this business or when you first moved to Nashville, like letting yourself get lit up again instead of just being
Mhm.
so focused on the grind. I think that's a beautiful lesson to take from getting older.
Yeah. Well, and even too, it's like while we were in Key West, I could see myself there as a retired person
No, I could
w-
totally see you living there.
working at a bar, like, or
Yeah.
working on a boat, or like still working, like, because I think I'll always want to have that sort of, do I want to have a job? No fucking way. But like, do I want to
Right.
sit in my house and watch Prices Right every day? No.
Yeah, you want to have a
I
purpose of
want to do
some
that on the
sort.
days that I want to, but I could also see myself. There was on the second day or on Saturday, we did there was a rental boat and it had like these, it was a female captain who was a badass and it had these beautiful women that were like serving us. But I'm like, I could captain one of these boats. I could do this, take people out to
You
party every day.
totally
Like, oh
could.
my God, that would be a dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
I'd live on that boat if I could.
Yeah, I could
Um,
see you doing it.
yeah, yeah. So it was like being able to see myself still having fun
Mm-hmm.
when like the music business is behind me. It was very clear to me then. So it's like I don't feel like I have anything to fear right now.
Yeah, just stuff to
Yeah,
look forward to.
yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing your experience with us. I love
Hey.
getting wisdom from the elderly.
You better respect your elders.
I just had to get one in there. Sorry. If you guys haven't listened to my podcast with John, go check it out. If you're going through something later in life and you feel like you're having to start over, it's just never starting over. It's just a new part of the journey. And I think he really talks about that a lot. And I think Chip's knowledge and wisdom today that is also saying the same thing. Just go
Yeah.
out and live life and start over. Do follow your inner child's journey though too. It's like what lit you up when you were younger? Like are you living that out? I think these are really good like reflective questions for
Well, and
later stages.
I also think too, if you can get ahead of it so that like it's not reactionary. Like obviously John's story is different than mine because he
Sure.
went through a divorce, he got laid
Yeah.
off. There were like things that were out of his control that happened that he had to
Right.
react to. So, do as much as you can to try and stay in control of the things so that like it's not reactionary. I mean, obviously
Yeah,
you
like you
can't.
don't want to be looking back. I just had this conversation with my boyfriend. His dad is having some health issues, and he was talking just about how, like, his dad's at the phase of life where he's looking back with regret on certain things. And it's really made my boyfriend think to himself, I don't want to get to that place in my life where I feel that way. I want to do the things I want to do now or the things that light me up or the things that I'm passionate about so that when I'm looking back on my life I can feel like okay, well I did it, like I lived in a true way for me. Which I think is sometimes easier said than done because we all get
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuck in the rat race a little bit, but I do think these kind of conversations are really good to reflect on and just, make sure you are living in alignment. Like you said, you feel like your most authentic self right now, and I think that's beautiful. That's a
Yeah.
great reflection to have on your 50th birthday is that you're really
Mm-hmm.
embracing who you really are. So, anyway, if you guys have any thoughts on this or you're going through a similar experience and you want to share it with us, you can always email us at theedge@velvetsedge.com or you can hit me up on Instagram. I'm at velvetsedge. Chip.
I'm at Chip Dorsch. It's ChipDorsch.
And don't forget to wish Chip a happy birthday on November 12th, you guys. Go
Woo!
slide into those DMs.
Those DMs.
And as you guys go into the weekend and you're living on the edge, I hope you always remember to
Act casual.
bye.
Bye.